Well, just to say a little opener, I thought our guys for 2 weeks have really taken the attitudes we've asked them to take. I thought today was a nice little cap onto a 2-week window. This past week was by far our hardest work week. You know, we had 3 double days in there. A lot of guys kind of got nicked up during the course of the week. Fortunately, nobody that I don't think will join us for Auburn. But a lot of guys that are right on the cusp. We'll start our game week prep about middle of the week, but I just want to keep getting better, and I thought our guys did that today. We obviously went ones, twos for most of the day and really did that because there was going to be some guys playing with the ones that hadn't been in there all that much and wanted to make sure that there wasn't too big of a jump and kind of ease them into it. But a lot of positive teaching points. I thought starting off with our kicking game, our guys have been really consistent. The only missed field goal I think on the day was a Mayday field goal situation. I knew that was going to be right at the end of John Henson's limit. So I'm excited about that. Obviously, the kickoff segment, I thought we drilled some guys in the end zone, and just offensively and defensively, a lot of good, solid tackling. I like the effect of our defense being around the football, even though balls might have got completed. At times, there were guys immediately at the reception, and I think that's exciting. I think our 3 quarterbacks all took a step forward. I thought BA, except for one maybe throw down on the red zone and maybe one throw over the middle in a third and medium situation was pretty effective. Some young guys stepping into the roles. I got to tell you, Frank Ragnow and Brian Wallace are going to be 2 exceptional football players here. They've made a lot of strides and a lot of gains in the last 2 weeks. I gotta believe that those 2 guys are going to be one of the 2 best that I've ever been around. Just their demeanor, their attitude, their God-given athletic ability, and their approach to work is pretty exciting. And a number of guys on offense looked good. Defensively, we've had some injuries. Obviously, you're probably going to ask about Brooks Ellis. Brooks had a dislocated kneecap in high school, I guess, and he kind of aggravated that the other day. Probably could have went today or with some effect, but we just wanted to hold him and continue to get reps with our Mike linebackers. So I thought some of those guys flashed out there today, but we need to keep getting work there. And at the corner is a position that a year ago I was really concerned about at the end of the year, and the demeanor and the change of Carol Washington, and you didn't see Tevin out there today. He's kind of got just a little bit of a hamstring that is bothering him, so we decided with his history to pull him out of today, and will be with us all the way up till Auburn and playing the game. So with that, open it up for questions. I was very excited. Thanks for the fans for showing up. Yeah, I think so. Just as and don't get me wrong, I'm very excited about what Rafe is doing. I think Rafe has got a very bright future here. We've really watered down the offense, just let him play and let his abilities show through. I think today, just duly noted from an offensive play call standpoint, we were very kind of a spring game approach. Just with the fans that were there today, you never know what's going on, and in today's world, I just learned to keep it pretty conservative when they open to the public like that. So I think conservatively what we did to our offense today and to have the production they did, really, if whatever quarterback in there was very, very pleasing. Austin, number 2? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I think Austin has declared himself, if there was a situation, unless something dramatically changes the next 2 weeks, that he's our number 2 quarterback. Big D, Denver not hurt his head. It's not really concussion, but he had a pretty good significant headache. He banged heads with Reeve Kohler. That's 340 pounds of Hawaiian muscle. That he got a little bit of a headache, and we wanted to keep him out of it today. He had a really, really good camp all the way up until Thursday when he got dinged. So we just really, anybody that was in question today from a health standpoint, we thought it would be better to rest him and get 2 weeks of work. And then who was the other guy? Juwan popped, or not popped, but strained a hamstring on Wednesday or Thursday. Nothing, obviously, long-term, but he might be out for another week yet. It was Corliss and I think Trey, both birthdays today, and I was kind of hoping to get Austin a few more reps there with the ones there at the end, but Corliss broke away. It was funny. I was in the huddle, and Corliss was yelling, "Let's run this thing all the way down the field." I think he was thinking 4 or 5 plays. I don't think he meant out of the gate, but that's what he can do. He's a very explosive player. Yeah, there was one time when the threes had 12 in the huddle, but the White Hats gave us a break, I think, when the threes were in there. But we did play very, very clean. Again, it reinforces my philosophy that, if you keep it simple, let guys play aggressively, let them play, full throttle without having to think a lot, good things will happen, and they played very, very clean today. I think the guys with the ball on the ground were some backups, reserves, guys that normally won't be in that position. We figure, he does a lot of really good things, Nate. He really does. I'm sure you guys saw, I tweeted a picture that he made a spectacular catch in one-on-ones, and I said to him today, I sat down at brunch, I said, hey, who's coming today, good doo-wop or bad doo-wop? And he goes, I'm the same doo-wop. I said, well, from my perspective, there's good days and bad days. Let's make sure the good one shows up. And he does a lot of really good things. He does an exciting player. I think like you show him there, he plays wide receiver. He could pop in a tailback and have a change of pace. We all know what he can do when he's running the football, but I'd like to see him, catch the ball a lot more efficiently in traffic. Oh, what'd you think? Yeah, he does. Obviously a very gifted young man. He's, I think, settled down and he kind of fought the ball the first week, but has really caught the ball, I think, the last 6-7 days very, very well. I'm very excited about him and Kendrick Edwards. Both those Miami freshmen are exciting players. Kendrick, you didn't get a taste of it today, but he's been very, very productive in practice. And JoJo just, he brings an element that to make something out of nothing when they're in open field, I think is pretty exciting. And a great, charismatic kid. He took that dive in the end zone there, which I'm more than happy with. I just want him to secure that football, and have it close to us. We just have a saying: you hold that ball close to your heart. We never here at Arkansas, we run the ball in the end zone. We don't reach it, and that goes for every position. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Alex did a nice job. I think Alex, two guys jump out at me, Alex and Hunter Henry, just from a year ago to where they are this year. Those are two kids that were highly decorated high school players, highly recruited, outstanding football players that kind of arrived and really just played last year off that ability. They'd been 8 weeks in Coach Herbert's program. I think Alex had 6. Alex has a lot of very, very gifted genetics, but now he's been in Herb's weight room and he understands the dynamic that can add. If I can get him to go to bed at a reasonable hour and stop him tweeting at 4 a.m. and eating 3 square meals and do it, the sky's the limit for that kid. We're extremely gifted in the fact that we got 3 running backs. Jay Will's very close to, you saw him probably go through pregame. He's very close to being back out there. Those are 3 guys that bring 3 different things that are very, very nice to have in your pocket. Josh Liddell? Yeah, he's. I think the fact that he was a high school quarterback, I think that helps anybody. He's able to understand the game. It never gets big on him. He's an extremely athletic young man, but I think the part that he plays smart. He understands angles. He gets it. Like Coach Jennings told me, if you go through a meeting and you tell him something one time, it better be right on because that's what he's going to try to do for you. Mom and Dad raised a great kid, and in that environment, I just think that we got a very bright future with him. Sebastian, I'm not going to tell you what he started at, but he's down considerably where he was at. I think almost close to 20 pounds just being here in 3 weeks. What I told him is, hey, let's just knock off 5 pounds each week we're here, and you'll be at this X weight by Auburn. He is so light on his feet and powerful and very, very smart kid. It sounds silly, but we do this little game where we pair up. So I'm going to sit down with Nate Allen. I'm going to find out what his first, middle, and last name is. I'm going to find out what his hometown high school and mascot was, and then I'm going to ask him, a personal question about who's his role model or 2 of his weakest traits he's got to work. And then we got to get up in front of the team and repeat those things when I call on him. And Sebastian got up, and I forget who he was paired with. It was somebody else on offense, and he just stood out and just boom, boom, spoke so clean, clear, crisp. I just didn't know, what I was getting. This kid that's kind of bouncing around a little bit. He's not your typical, I don't think, trademark junior college player. I think he is a very gifted, bright mind. I think the only issue he's had in the past is maybe a little bit of urgency, and I think we're gonna hopefully get that out of him. I did. I'm sorry, long answer to your question. I liked very much what I saw. I liked him in the huddle. He's the first guy to get back to the ball. Him and Cameron have bonded a little bit. They're going to be roommates together. I saw him signed a lease together over there on the east side of town. So he's fitting in very well. Tevin's exciting. Tevin's another kid with a 30-plus ACT, very intelligent. I think coming in from Forest City, things maybe got a little big on him last year, and he took a year of redshirt. I think he is the glowing example of what a redshirt year can do in our program. Here's a kid that came in at maybe 215, and now he's a 250-pound SEC-type looking kid that as a redshirt freshman, I think he's going to give us a valuable role, could be a very, very significant player here over the next 3 or 4 years. Josh is learning it. I think Josh has got really good football instincts. We even popped him in at fullback the other day. He's an extremely physical player. He's another kid that's very, very football savvy. He gets the game. He understands it. He picks up on it. I think he really likes being here. Coming out of Dillard and going to Dodge City, this is like the utopia of everything coming up together with the way we treat our kids. And I think he needs to shed a few too, but he can play for us. And then Kalia Hackett, I would say our 3 linebackers between Randy Ramsey, Kalia Hackett, and Dwayne Eugene, those 3 are going to play. I think all 3 of them will play for us this year and help us out and from the line of scrimmage and on special teams, but they're all 3 very, very gifted football players. Ramsey really been banged up all week, so he didn't flash today like he did last week. Well, where we are, I think, you played a clean football today for an hour and a half. I think there's a lot of physical play out there. I think they're buying into what we're saying. And I kind of made this point to our ones the other day. We had a day that it was an evening practice when you guys were in there. That the ones, for the most part, and twos, but for the ones overall, the mistakes or the things that we have on the field are no longer physically related. They're more mental related. They're the right call, the right execution, the right key, the right reaction, and that's all between the ears. And I think that's a very important step in the right direction. We have to get more depth. We're very delicate at certain positions, but when you're coaching a football team and you physically know what they're capable of doing, and then you begin to understand mentally what they can do and can handle, that's when you begin to see the things you believe in work, and that's, to me, a very exciting time. As far as how many translating wins that comes into, I can't put a count. I know this. We were very close in a lot of ball games last year. I saw a ticker running across the other day on the SEC network that listed our key losses and on offense and defense. And obviously, we lost a couple of really good players. But for the most part, a lot of those positions that we're replacing, I think we hopefully got better at, and that's exciting. Bo, Cam is a very, very gifted athletic player. I think the part that he's maybe struggling a little bit with is the physicality that we like to play with, and he's really, really good at pulling, and he's a guy that I think we have to look at and see how we're going to specifically use him in our off, because he's definitely got some God-given strengths that we have to maximize, whether it be at guard, tackle, whatever it is. We got some things, obviously, that we haven't showcased that he's involved in, too. Yeah, we ran a couple pressures. I think that's what you're going to see out of us. I look at, successful defense. I remember looking and watching the, different teams in bowl games a year ago, and the teams that were playing well on defense, you could see right away, at least me as a coach and defensively as a coach, after the first or second series, even though I hadn't maybe watched these teams, they weren't people that I normally watch, because they aren't in the SEC. They line up and play consistent football. Their linemen are in the same spots. Their linebackers are in the same spots. Their DBs are playing sound, whether it's halves, quarters, rolled up corner. They know what they're doing, and they're playing physically at the point. And it's some stuff that I think I see in our defense right now, and that allows you to play well. Yeah, Taiwan Johnson. That was kind of head coach orchestrated there. I wanted to get my 4 best players. Taiwan has jumped out to me since I've been here. He goes 100 miles an hour. I played that position, so I remember when that scheme got put in for me personally, I was really, I wasn't really good, but I was good at the tilt, the cock nose we call it. I was not really good at playing square. And Taiwan, I just thought with his explosiveness, and not that I was explosive, but from the point of what I understood it, that's a kind of a unique deal, and he really gets it. I think he can be a very disruptive player at that position, and we got to get a guy behind him. And then Hodge has done a really nice job at the 3 technique behind Darius. So it's fun to see that thing take shape. I did congratulate him, but I also had another point. He did a really nice job. The kid, I do not want to overcoach that kid. He is extremely talented. He saw on the field. The only thing I just have a saying, it interrupted my second year as a head coach. We had a young man reach in the end zone. Ball got knocked back, and it ended up being a fumble out of bounds at the 2-yard line because he reached the ball over the end zone. And JoJo made a heck of a move, and then I think he dived with the ball out in front of him, and that ball will get knocked out more than it'll have success. So I congratulate him on saying, I just said, hey, at Arkansas we run the ball in the end zone, we don't reach the ball. So I don't run 60 yards often, but I'm trying to get in a little bit better shape for my lovely wife, and it's fun to kind of run around, be a little more active. It was a twofold question. Yeah, it was twofold. But I did want to congratulate him because I had jumped him a little bit earlier in the week about just catching the ball and making some good plays. I'm kind of famous for saying we didn't bring you from Miami to drop the ball. We brought you here to catch the ball. So I gave him one of those. And he's a great kid, man. I'm excited about his future. No, it's not. I wish it was. I'm very happy with Chris Jones. I think he can do some good things. Patrick Arin's flashes, but we need more consistency. I think Cody can do a lot of really good things, but he just banged up, So that's nothing against negative Cody. He battled it off. Just a straight, hardcore thumper. We got to get that guy, because in short yards goal line, we're going to need that guy, and it's yet to be declared. Yeah, it's his birthday. Met his son earlier today. I never had a chance to do that. I think Corliss. The sky's the limit for that kid, man. He's an exciting player. I hope he understands how special he is, because he has been given some things that are not normal in this world, and I really hope that he understands how special that is, and is going to in turn pay that back tenfold because he has the ability to do that.